I honestly can't believe that I have to make this video right now. If you are an indie author, it's an absolute must watch this video to the end. If you are a reader, please watch this video so you know the tiniest aspect of what indie authors are going through so we can get our books in your hand. My latest book, Kingdoms of Silent Sorrows, has been my most successful book launch ever. It is a dream come true as an indie author to see your book take off. And just this morning, I checked Amazon and we reached the top 50. We were number 33 in military fantasy. So how did I get to this point? Well, I made sure that my book was not just on Amazon. I really wanted to make sure that international readers in bookstores could have access to my book, specifically a hardcover book. But I didn't just want to stop there. It doesn't just have my story, which was months and months and months of sitting in my office alone writing, but you all have been so supportive of my art. I wanted to make it the highest quality I could. Amazon does make hardcovers, but you can't do dust jackets. I knew I had to get into bed with Ingram Spark. Ingram is the catalog that bookstores use to order their books from. I did a lot of research before I made an account with them. And a lot of the research was authors here on TikTok and social media expressing the absolute nightmare that they had with this company. But what else could I do? I wanted my hardcover book and I wanted it to be able to get into bookstores. Up to this morning, I've had a really good experience with Ingram, minus the fact that when I do have a question and I have to write their customer service, there is no customer service. It takes around 3 weeks to get a response back. I've had amazing author friends help me with the questions that Ingram has not answered. I log onto my Ingram account this morning to check my sales, and I started out the day with a huge smile on my face. I had another bookstore in Australia stock my book. I also had sales from bookstores in the UK. I'm still so honored that you all will spend your hard-earned money on my book, and I made sure that the quality and all the artwork in this book with the bonus cover underneath, it had to be up to par if you were going to spend your money. Everything's going good. I'm just about ready to log off, and I noticed right next to my book the yellow flag. What is this? What's going on? The yellow flag said awaiting system approval. When I click it and read it, which is odd because my book has been uploaded since early December, and I will say Ingram had a lot of checks and balances, more than any other book site I've had. And that made me feel assured because I thought my readers in the bookstores are getting the best quality because this company is doing a lot of checks, a lot of proofs, a lot of approvals. Why was my book put back on system approval? It says when I read it that the book has been blocked because it's not suitable for high volume orders. So obviously my book has become a high volume order book, and they are saying that the ink saturation level requires a heavier weight paper. Just take that into account, which will result in you having to change your prices of your book because you will need to pay for the heavier weight paper. I found this interesting that this was not flagged until my book started to get a lot of orders from them. So now that my book is making them money, they're like, hey, we want you to up the paper weight, which means you have to increase the price of your book, which means we get more of your money. And I want to say this is the most expensive book I've ever had to produce. I had to put it at a price of $29, which I know is asking a lot for my readers. I'm barely making any money at all, less than $2 per book. This is costing me over $15 to print. Yes, it has a dust jacket, it has the colorful bonus, and it has art throughout. I understand that it's not going to be cheap to print, but when you put your book on Ingram, I have to give bookstores a minimum, an absolute bottom line minimum of 40% off. The initial price I wanted to price this book at, Ingram wouldn't let me do it because they said, honey, you got to pay for your book to be sold. You have to up the price. So the minimum I could do was a $29 hardcover book. And I also want to know that I did all of the art for my book. If I had to pay a graphic designer to design the entire dust jacket, if I had to pay for this portrait and that, and let's not even get started on the map inside, on all of the character artwork inside, I would be in the whole thousands of dollars. It would take me a lot longer to recoup that money. Now, Ingram wants me to increase the paper weight This should be a very easy fix where I can log into my account. Look, I'm getting a stress rash. I can log into my account and I can change the paperweight. Ingram says, no, you have to contact a customer service representative to make the change. Like I mentioned with Ingram's customer service, took 3 weeks for a reply. 3 weeks when I have readers wanting my book right now. That's something that cannot happen because it's not acceptable for a company to leech onto an indie author and do that. I am in a corner. I have no other option. The only thing I did was Ingram had an option where I could pay. I have to pay $50 for a phone call with them. So I'm paying and I have a phone call set up with them tomorrow. I don't even know if they can help me on the phone call. There is a sense of such violation that is happening right now, and I don't use that word easily, but when you have spent months of your life writing your book and then drawing the artwork for it. I have given up time with my family and friends to write this story, and that's okay because writing is my passion. But it is wrong for a company to know that they are the one and only lifeboat us indie authors have. So they can use us any way they want and they can offer no customer service. That is wrong. I know a lot of people rag and beat up Amazon, but I will tell you something. I went into my Amazon account today. I refuse to allow my readers not to get the physical copy of my book. So I have made the paperback book, and that is my backup plan for you all. It does not have the bonus cover, but it will have my same beautiful cover that I spent weeks drawing. It will have that, and it also does have the artwork inside. But I just want to give a shout out to Amazon, which some authors might be shocked. I had a problem, a little hiccup, which of course I've never had it before, but today was the day. I went to chat with Amazon's customer service. Right away, I got a real agent, not a virtual person. I got a real person. And she stayed on chatting with me till we resolved the issue. No company is perfect, but a company that offers me a human in that moment to support me, to listen to me, I'm gonna stay in business with them. I am going to be working feverishly trying to fix this issue with Ingram Sparks. I will post updates and let you know when it is back up. In the meantime, if you are in the US, I will post the picture here. She is a bookstore that has a few copies left of the hardcover with signed book plates. So that's probably your best avenue if you want the hardcover. In the meantime, I have just pressed hit on uploading the paperback on Amazon, and as soon as that is up and live, I will let you know, so you will be able to order the paperback. I just want to thank everyone who has ever supported an indie author. This journey is not for the faint of heart. We don't write for the money. We write because it's a passion and we have to. And even though there's so many nightmarish experiences like this, it's still not going to make me stop writing. I will do everything I can to get this hardcover back up online and keep you updated on what's happening. But until then, the ebook is definitely still up and it's available internationally. The paperback should be going up any day now. I just want to give a shout out to all the indie authors. You're sitting in your office alone and you have no life jacket, no lifeboat, and you're trying to swim in really choppy waters. I just want you to know that you are not alone. And I pray to God that some company will come out and make it possible where we can get our books into bookstores, but they also have the customer service. I know with Amazon, if Amazon offered the dust jacket in the same quality book, hardcover book, I would absolutely bring my business there. The paperback is going to be just as good of quality as the hardcover. It still has a lot of art in it. I just want to make sure that the quality is always the highest it can be for those of you who are willing to spend your hard-earned money on my books. Thank you so much.